And that I think that's something we crave as people is honesty.
Yeah, just shoot straight with me.
You know, when someone is honest with you, even if it's something that you don't love completely,
right?
When someone's honest with you, you're like, oh, there's a trust that happens.
Yeah.
And I think trust is really what we crave. We want to be able to trust people, and we want people to trust us.
Yeah.
And that I think that's done through honesty.
This is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, a podcast about Middle Tennessee business owners and professionals. Mostly.
Yeah, you know, you are kind of funny that way. You say little, like out of left field quips and comments that just go, it elicits a chuckle.
I try to do that.
You really do. I mean, you do it in BNI and it's like, did he just say that? Holy crap.
I have been told a few times I need to be careful what I say. I think people were joking, but...
I mean, just the other day, you're talking, we put our phones together, like, oh, we're touching tips. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
That's hilarious. Especially with what you do for a living.
Yeah. I usually don't say that to too many people, but I did say that, yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. You have Mr. John Myers, who's our guest today. He's with Alliance Family Services, but locally, alliancewomensclinic.org. And we're going to get into all that and all Mr. John Myers for this episode. Yes, this is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, where we have regular conversations that meander with Middle Tennessee business owners, professionals, things of that nature. Hit us up at mmtbp.com. I am your host, Jim McCarthy. I do voiceovers. I produce podcasts. This is coming to you from the it'sYourShow.co studios, powered by Muletown Bikes. I've always liked biking, and I'm sure every time I do this, people probably get sick and tired of me saying this, but anyway, they're a sponsor. I got into e-biking, and it's funny because I'm a fat guy talking to a really fit guy who did a backflip the other day on the BNI floor, talking about how I want to lose weight at 50 with an e-bike, which go ahead and laugh.
I'm not going to laugh at you.
Totally
I don't even own a bike, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Do you run? What's your cardio,
want
man?
to run.
Yeah.
So I need to get back into working out. So I played sports growing up.
Yeah, your football, rugby.
Yeah, some football. Rugby was more from 19 onward. That was in England.
Yeah.
And played some basketball. Played soccer when I was younger because my mom wouldn't let me play football.
That's cardio.
Yeah, that's
gosh.
all cardio. Gave that up for a better sport, which is football. Am I not allowed to say that? Football is better than soccer.
Shots fired.
We could talk all day about how football is better than soccer. My mom finally let me play at, I think I was 13. She thought I was going to get hurt, and I didn't. I never got hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now, my cardio consists of holding babies and walking around at night to get them to sleep.
That's fun.
So yeah, that's not good cardio. I need to get back into running, which Tennessee the weather in the morning is incredible.
Yeah.
And I need to get back in the gym as well. I used to be in the gym a lot, but the last, I would say 12, 13 years, I haven't worked out at all.
Well, do you enjoy it still?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. It's just, see, I'm a really cheap person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to pay for a gym membership, and I don't want to pay for weights at home either.
Really?
Yeah. Because
once you buy them, you're done.
Yes. But I don't want to buy them.
I have the adjustable dumbbells.
Okay. I'll take them from you. Yeah.
I just don't use them. I need to start using them again. Like we have an upstairs portion of our house, which is funny because we had a treadmill in our bedroom, and then we moved it downstairs. But now we want to move everything back upstairs.
Yep.
Because we have like kind of an unused room, which is our bonus room. And we've got a couch in there that we, quite frankly, anybody that needs like a sectional couch, leather, it's incomplete, come get it. If you need a couch, come get it.
I'll talk to my wife.
Yeah.
She makes all those decisions.
Yeah. It's got, you can it reclines and has the thing that comes up to your feet and everything. So it's not a bad couch, it's just incomplete, and it's just taking up a ton of space. We hardly use it anymore. And, but yeah, we put all just a small workout room.
Yeah. What I think you're saying here is you want me to start working out with you.
Hell yeah, dude.
Let's do it. You get the room set up, I'll work out with you.
Yeah. It'll be kind of weird, in the morning. We're like, hey, John and I are just outside the bedroom, babe, just come out dressed,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you still enjoy it.
Yes.
Because that's the thing that I've been having a problem with is at this age, I just want to enjoy what I'm doing, you know?
Yep. I think I should probably clarify something. I enjoy working out with other people. I love people. I love being with people. And so during like football, I'm working out with all of my football teammates.
Right.
Absolutely love that.
Back when you played.
Back when I played. Right. Yes, I don't play anymore.
Right.
I would love to, if you want to do a flag football team or something, I'd be into that.
Sure.
But I'll get hurt. But I don't have the motivation to do it by myself.
Right.
So.
Well, when you have somebody else to kind of do it with you, I did the Body for Life thing back in my 20s.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Body for Life was a book written by a gentleman named Bill Phillips. He once owned EAS, Experimental Applied Sciences, which did Myoplex, the protein drink.
Yep.
Is that not familiar still?
No, I know of Myoplex. Never had it.
Yeah. He had a documentary that was like almost like the first reality. It was a reality-based documentary almost before reality shows were a thing. And he wanted to do a challenge where he took all the bodybuilding competitions out of these auditoriums and just bring it to the common man. So he came up with a whole regimen of how to do a 12-week run, how to really hone in on your nutrition, eating 6 times a day, working out, basically high-intensity interval training style workouts that you got done within an hour kind of thing.
Yep.
And I watched that documentary and these amazing transformations that people were doing in 12. I mean, going from looking like me to having abs. And I was like, okay, if they can do it, I can probably do this. So I got really inspired by it, fell in love with the whole thing. He put out a book called Body for Life. The movie was called Body of Work.
Okay.
And he had a magazine, he had the supplements, so he's doing very well in life. And he did this competition and put it in the magazine, said, hey, anybody can do this. Send in your pictures. Here's how to follow it. Here's what to do. And anybody, the winner gets my personal Lamborghini. That was the prize. And
you won it.
I didn't win. No, this is a year or two before I started. I watched the movie and I got into it. I didn't win it. No, but I ended up doing the competition 3 times, but still never won. But I lost like 65 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I ended up seeing my ads.
Yeah.
My abs.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
it's too intense. It's not sustainable.
Yep. I think that's the issue. That's what I find with like diets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable to be so strict on something that you can't do it for the rest of your life.
Right.
And so I've never dieted.
Right.
That will catch up on me. I know it will.
Yeah.
But I've never dieted. Never had the desire to. I don't want to cut out things that I like.
Yeah. It's moderation. Just don't eat so much of it.
Well, see, I haven't done that yet either.
Yeah.
my weakness is ice cream. That's and my wife. little side story. My wife just got me a Ninja Creami for my birthday, and I've had at least a pint a day.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I've been. Good job, my wife. She's amazing, Marie. Good job. You got me this Ninja Creami. It's one of the best gifts I've ever had. I've been going to town on ice cream. So
really?
I probably packed on a little bit.
So you're making your own ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you just throw in whatever you want, some like heavy whipping cream, milk, and whatever other toppings. I've been making a mango one that is killer. So just a can of mangoes, heavy whipping cream. That's it. Ice
cream does it for me as well, but obviously it has a much more detrimental effect. But we've actually gotten onto a program. It's called Huel.
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 I've heard of it.
Yeah. So those shakes they kind of appease and satisfy I like milkshakes.
Yeah.
And the chocolate Huels are not only nutritious, they don't have any dairy. You mix it with ice and water.
Okay.
And it tastes just like an ice cream milkshake.
Now what you could do is take one of those, put it in the Ninja Creami, freeze it, and then you can blend it up and have it as ice cream.
Really?
That's kind of how it works. You put in kind of the wet ingredients.
But that kind of scratches that itch for me.
Yeah.
As far as the ice cream. I do it first thing in the morning. I've got, little protein shakes here. I'm trying.
Yes.
My big problem is making good selections with nutrition. And plus I like IPAs. Beer is my weakness. Thank you, Mike Mercurio, and your frickin' Ales and Tales podcast, because I've become so damn bougie about beer. It is redonkulous.
See, I'm not into beer. I've never had a beer that I've liked. And I don't really drink. I'll have a Distrono and Coke.
Yeah.
Like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah.
And that's it for me. And another one, I'll have Distrono and eggnog.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever had that. It's as sweet as can be. I have a sweet tooth. If you haven't figured that out yet.
Have you ever had Evan Williams eggnog?
No.
Oh, buddy.
See, I don't love the taste of alcohol. If it's giving me a lot of that taste, I just like the sweetness, the spices.
It will replace your craving for ice cream.
Okay.
Evan Williams at the holidays. Just get yourself a bottle.
Okay.
Oh, my dear Lord. It is fan-frickin-tastic.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I will definitely try it out. Eggnog is maybe my favorite drink.
Yeah.
I love that it's seasonal because I would go crazy.
Oh, yeah. You're drinking raw fat. You're drinking pretty much Alfredo sauce out of a bottle.
And I also love Alfredo sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I found as I've gotten older, I can discern. I'm like, I'll have it every now and then. But if I have it, like probably the first couple of bites, I'm like, I don't even enjoy this.
Alfredo?
Yeah. It's weird. I don't think I ever did, which would be, if I did, it would be actually very detrimental. But there was a place in Danbury, Connecticut where I grew up. They made this dish called tortellini with pink sauce. So it's an Alfredo with tomato mixed in, so it turns pink.
Yeah.
And it's much lighter and much more flavor. It's got a more robust flavor profile. Mm-hmm. So for Father's Day, my birthday, my wife will make that for me.
That's nice.
And it's so damn good. So good.
I'll take some.
So you guys listening are probably thinking that, they're going to really be talking about fitness. Nope. John is not in the fitness business.
Nope.
He is with Alliance Family Services. Mm-hmm. And you have a faith-driven career background within churches, a multitude of different churches. And now you're with Alliance doing the God's work with women who are in a position of, I'm pregnant. What do I do? Yep. Abortion, no abortion. How do I go through this? If I tell my loved ones I'm going to be ostracized, I'm going to be kicked out of my house, I'm going to be broken up with. You guys are there to help, essentially. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Okay. Did you start out? I mean, how either you're, dare I say, born into the church business?
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people that take issue with that definition, that language, but it is a business. They're still doing good work, I think.
Yeah.
Was it a thing where are you a pastor's kid or anything like that?
Yeah, great. So a missionary kid.
Okay.
So my parents are missionaries, born in Chicago and really, really young. I think I was like 1.5, moved to Kenya. Mm-hmm. But only had a couple years out there, and then we moved all over the states. So lived closer to the Green Bay area of Wisconsin, California, Texas, Illinois, Wisconsin, back to Illinois for a summer, Wisconsin. Then I moved to England at 19 and helped set up a church out there, and then back to Wisconsin and then Tennessee. So that's I just gave you my whole life story right there.
It's so weird because a lot of the places you talked about, Illinois, Wisconsin, big mission grounds.
Yeah.
Because they're they're not exposed to it. There's a lot of non-believers in those parts of the country, right?
Which is less so here in Tennessee.
Yeah. You got every church on every corner.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. That's what gets me about like some of the churches. Like, we need to plant more churches. I'm like, no, you don't. We got plenty of them here. You're franchising your brand. That's what you're doing. Okay. Planting a church down, 10 miles away. I mean, you should be doing that in Wisconsin. You should be doing that in the
So you're telling me I
Northeast.
should move back?
No, I want you here, but I think you need to send somebody there.
Yeah, I can do that. My kids will go back.
But I mean, is that something that's because you're here in Tennessee for the first time in your life.
Yeah. That's
the culture here. The Christian culture here is, we got to be good stewards of God's word and get the gospel out to everybody as best as we can, meet people where they are. But as much as they try, God bless them, they almost do as much damage to it,
Yeah.
Because we talk about church hurt, right?
Yeah. And it's a real thing. And there's a lot out there right now about church hurt. And, I think thing that I've kind of realized more recently, well, not realized, but kind of maybe been through a bit more recently and kind of seen on the news and Facebook and all the social medias is that, men are like the human race, not just men, but men and women, we fail at things. We're not perfect. We all mess up. And I think a lot of times, just in the church, we expect pastors to be perfect.
Yeah.
And we expect people that lead churches or lead small groups or lead whatever they're doing to just do it perfectly and have no issues. And I just think, for me, I've put my trust in lots of different people and they failed me.
Yeah.
But what I really need to be doing is putting my trust and faith in Jesus. He's never failed me, but I still go back to try to put my trust in people. And I just get it wrong over and over again when I should just be saying, hey, let me just follow what the Bible says. Let me put my trust in Jesus. And yes, I need other people around me to keep me accountable. And that's where I think it's important that when we're experiencing that church hurt, is that we don't push that away and lose that accountability as well.
My experience with church hurt was based on the awareness of your sin, the acknowledgement that it exists, the awareness of your sin. I was unequally yoked in my marriage. I took the kids to church. They were little at the time. It was my first foray into it. My wife had gone to a Catholic high school and a Lutheran middle school, grade school. So there was a little bit of damage coming out of that experience. Yeah. So organized religion is not exactly something she's huge on. She's a believer. She knows that there's a higher power. I'm pretty sure it's Christ, how she believes. She's not very public about it. She doesn't really like talking about it. But as I was going, and I was that guy, and I wasn't just a fly in the wall. I became, a pretty regular performer in the band. I was on drums probably every 3 or 4 weeks. I showed up with the kids. I was always the one lone guy. And they're like, where's your wife? How come you? She doesn't want to come. I would be just very straight with them. She doesn't like this kind of thing. She'll come to the events that the kids are involved in, little choir things, which is fine. Well, how can we pray for her? I said, you can pray for her as much as you like. I said, but what she really needs is for you to meet her where she is. She's at home, and you want to bring a coffee to her and introduce yourself, feel free. Yeah. And that was like a challenge for them. They wanted to only be familiar with each other, it seemed, and just hang out with people who were of similar beliefs. And I think that can actually happen quite a bit in the church. And I found myself in a situation like that. So I was a youth pastor for 12 and a half years. And if you're just doing stuff in the church, you can create your own church bubble. Yeah. And so I actually started working for an organization called Youth for Christ. I still work for them now. I run an after-school club at Franklin High School. But this was back in Wisconsin. I started working for them because I'm leading a youth group in my church, and I'm seeing a bunch of, church kids, if you're allowed to say it that way. That's probably not the best language, but kids that have been in the church for a long time, they all claim Christianity, and you get in that bubble. You're just dealing with Christians. So I was like, no, I need to get out of this bubble. I need to start to see some people that are outside my own Christian church bubble. And so I decided to get into the schools and start working for a different ministry that I can, hey, yes, I'm working in my church, but I'm also outside the church walls, kind of meeting other people and bringing Jesus and love and care and compassion to people, again, outside those church walls. And I think if you don't consciously make those decisions, you just get stuck in that bubble. And I think it's very unhelpful. It's, I get being fed. The church is there for the corporate worship, being fed, making understanding of the message a lot deeper. I mean, the Bible studies, men's groups and stuff like that I've attended over the years were the biggest onion peel-backs I've ever experienced. Like, we'd do an hour on like a phrase, and just really unpeel all the layers. It's like, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing. It really is.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh,
Did you
absolutely.
enjoy peeling the onion?
The thing that got me, like I said in the beginning, I'd always get around to it. That was like off the air before we started here. We were talking a little bit, getting to know each other. And I told John about my experience when I was younger, knowing that there was a higher power that existed, but always realizing I always had a very intrinsic understanding that I would, quote, get around to it.
Yeah.
And which is probably a dangerous game to play because,
I'll help you with that. Don't worry.
Thank you. And I did get around to it shortly after my dad died. My brother was really starting to look into it. When you have a parent that dies, you realize your own mortality.
Yeah.
And it gets you thinking, plus the experience my father had. My father was a guy of all his life, he denied the existence of God, had a Saul to Paul conversion type of experience. First shall be last, last shall be first. Deathbed confession sort of thing that happened to him. My brother did a whole video on it with his church at the time. It's mind blowing. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. And basically, had a profuse session of apologizing to my brother. I'm sorry if I made you, do the things that weren't right for you, all that kind of stuff. It was very moving. So that gets you thinking. I was working at a radio station at the time where we had a guy who was coming in to record a commercial for his church, and it was a Catholic church at that. And I said, I grew up in a very Catholic prevalent part of the country. And I said, I never understood the ornate aspect of these buildings, the stained glass windows. And what's that? And the way they dress and why is the Pope, what is that? He goes, I don't know.
I was hoping you'd give me the answer.
He literally I'm like, dude, I love it. I love the fact that you're not trying to BS your way through this, but we got talking and everything.
Yeah.
And then my brother turned me on to, my problem was the intellectual aspect of it, because when you make a decision to believe and you start telling people about it, they look at you like you're a moron, especially if you can't really defend your belief, because it's a belief.
Yeah.
Prove that, prove that he exists. Prove that you believe. Well, prove that you love your wife. That's the same kind of question. Yeah. You can't. So
I can.
Can you?
I can prove it.
You have a definitive empirical proof. Evidence. So for me, it was the apologetics aspect of it.
Okay.
And I really fell in love. And all of a sudden, that's what resonated with me. The data around the ministry of Christ. Yeah. I love that stuff.
That's great.
And it's like whenever I have a skeptic or somebody who is challenging me on stuff, I've got simple questions. My kids, they're going through it. Well, I said this. Okay. Did he or did he not exist? Let's just start there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course he existed. Right. Okay. He existed. That we can agree on. Next question. Did he do and say the things that others reported he did and said? Miracles or whatever.
Yes.
That's the hang up. That's where we start having some good conversation. Well, it's like a game of telephone. It was a book written by man and blah, blah, blah. Like, now we're going to start digging. This is good stuff. Yeah. I always start there. So.
And have you done any of that digging and found like, hey, is the Bible credible? Mm-hmm. Is the stuff that's in here, can we trust it? Like, have you gone through that process?
Oh yeah.
What's the conclusion?
And typically I go through, it's a nice, whenever you're kind of teaching somebody, you're also learning as well.
Oh, 100%. That's actually I think that's actually the biggest way to learn.
Yeah.
Is to teach someone, because you have to know it better to teach it.
Yeah.
And so, as a youth pastor, when I would prepare a teaching, I would have to learn it better. Yeah. So that if there's a question at the end, I'm able to answer it. You can't just bring what you have. So sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
But that's just where I start. And I kind of go into the case for Christ kind of data points.
So great.
Tim Keller did one. Somebody had shared it with me. Debbie Griffith. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Debbie. She sent me a sermon that he did. It's about 45 minutes, and he was just so good, Tim Keller. But he did it was a sermon called "Who Is This Jesus?" and he goes through all the data, and it's so fascinating. Like I need to put it on my phone so I can start listening to it again.
Yeah,
because there's
send
so
that to
much.
Me as well. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's all the data surrounding the Gospels.
Yeah,
like this is not this is a very imperfect story. Mm-hmm. With an imperfect lineage, blood lineage that has got murderers, whores, all the bad people. This is the lineage that produced the King of Kings.
Yep.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, there's just so much in that, and there's so much, like, if you're making up the story to be convincing,
right?
You wouldn't add some of those pieces.
No,
you wouldn't have that. Even I've heard this one a lot, that hopefully I don't get in trouble for this one. The women going to the tomb first,
right,
being the first witnesses.
Right.
In that culture, in that day, if you cited a woman as a credible source like that, you just didn't do that.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things, if you're making it up, you just make it up different because you went against what the culture said was okay. And so I love those pieces. I find that stuff so fascinating.
Well, I mean, I say just the prophecies that were fulfilled in that compressed amount of time. Man. Was it something like 700 prophecies in that amount of that 3-year period?
If you, I cannot remember who did it. I'll look it up for you and send it to you. But they have like a chart where they show all the prophecies, Old Testament, New Testament, all the connections in the Bible. It's like a bajillion.
Yeah.
That's the biggest number I know. And so you could see all the connections. It looks like almost like a bunch of little rainbows.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's just so fascinating to look at and see kind of everything that connects, because the Bible's also obviously written by several different people over thousands of years.
Yeah.
And so to have it connect the way that it does, I think, when you start to look into that and you dig deeper, like, okay, is it actually connected?
Right.
How can these things be connected when they're thousands of years apart? These guys didn't know each other, and yet it's still connected. I just think it's amazing. I think that's a miracle in and of itself.
Well, you even talk about the witnesses. I always use the woman at the well as an example.
Yeah.
Those without sin shall cast the first stone, and they talk about Jesus writing in the sand, and nobody knows what he wrote. But why did you put that in there? Because that's how I remember it. I said, you got to remember these things are eyewitness accounts, people recalling, at least in those gospels, what had happened. Yeah. This isn't realistic prose fiction. This is, okay, here's what happened. He was facing off with the Pharisees. They were ready to stone this woman. He said this, and it was like, whoa, did he just say that? Nobody ever thought to say that before. That's just earth-shattering, mind-blowing. Yeah. And then he wrote something, and what did he write? I don't know. I think he drew a line in the sand. I believe that's actually where that analogy came from, the line in the sand. Well, did he draw a line? No, he wrote something in the sand. What did he write? I don't know.
It's too far away, couldn't read it.
Yeah. Why'd you include that? Because that's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah, it's as if you would recall a story telling a buddy.
Yeah.
He was leaning up against the left breast of Peter, and it's like, why'd you include that? Because that's what he was doing.
Yeah. And it makes sense that there would be little details, because there's 4 different gospels. There would be little details that are a little bit different. If you just talked about B&I last week, we would probably tell a different story of what happened in that 2 hours. I would have been like, the presentations were the best that they've ever been, ever. Yeah. I would say that. And you'd probably have a different story. I presented last week, so that's why I would say that. But we would tell a very different story of exactly what happened. But they would both still be true stories, unless you lied. I wouldn't lie. Right. I'm not that type of person.
Right.
But I don't know if you are.
I mean, white lies, I guess.
You're still not allowed to do that.
Really?
Yeah. We'll talk after this. I don't want to do this on air, but we'll talk after this.
No, it's one of those things where you look at, and that's what really intrigued me. I could talk for days about that stuff and learn about, all the stuff I've forgotten,
Yeah.
Whatever you want to film, wherever you want to film it, we can film your show from just about anywhere. Want to film a special episode of your podcast in a new location? We can do that for you. How about creating your short form video content at home or in your office? We can do that for you. Whatever you want to film, wherever you want to film it, it's your show. We just produce it for you.
Were you always like on fire and fervent?
That's a great
about
question.
it, because you grew into it, you came up with it.
Yeah.
You always, as a kid, you absorb everything mom and dad does
100%.
Until you become rebellious. And did you ever have that moment where you were as a teen, like, I'm not sure about this anymore?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love actually getting this question. Grew up in the church, and like you said, I just soaked everything in. I loved going to church, and we went to a lot of things. Yeah. We were at every event, every small group. We were at everything, and I loved it because I love being with people. I just absolutely love people. That hasn't changed my whole life. And so it was probably, we moved around a lot. I was homeschooled up until 8th grade, went to a Christian school, 8th grade. And then after that, all of high school, I went to public school. And
that's where the real world is. Right?
I loved it. It was great. I went to public school so that I could play football. That was the main reason.
Yeah.
But I found that when I went to a Christian school, it was kind of the first time that I'd encountered people that would call themselves Christians, but not follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, and didn't really care about it. Didn't really care about following Jesus. So I realized that I had to make a decision. Like I could choose.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of the first time I ever thought, oh, I can make a decision and I can choose to follow Jesus or not. So I think I was about 13 at the time. I decided to get baptized, decided I wanted to get serious about God. And I did. So it was about 13, 14 that I really said, I want to follow Jesus with my life, not just my parents. Up until that point, it was all my parents.
Yeah.
And I haven't really looked back. My rebellious stage was more me being really sarcastic and rude to my mom.
Right.
Sorry, Mom, if you get to hear this. I do apologize. I was a punk. But I never had too much of a rebellious stage as in walking away from God. No, I've made my mistakes. I've done things I shouldn't have.
And he will.
And I will.
You will keep doing that.
Yes, and I will. But I never really had a stage where I'm like, hey, I'm actually going to go against God. And so, graduated high school, moved to England, helped set up a church out there. It's supposed to be 6 months, turned into 10 years because I met my wife out there. She's amazing.
Is she British?
She's British, yep.
Really?
She's got an amazing accent. She could read me books all day, and I would be very happy with that.
How'd you guys meet?
So she was part of the kind of program that the church was putting on. It was a 6 months like evangelism and then just doing whatever the church needed.
Do you remember when you first saw her?
I actually had met her in America.
Oh, really?
She came out for a music school, a music Bible school. And so I had seen her then, and I thought, she's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
She's a good looking lady.
Did you hear music in the background?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It was exactly like that. Exactly. She actually thought I was an idiot. So our first encounter, we felt very differently about each other. I was like, she's awesome. She's great. She thought this guy is an immature idiot.
But that's the thing is like you come up through, you have your first taste of public school.
Yeah.
Were you like, did you get any game? Did you learn the whole aspect and concept of having game when it comes to dating?
Yeah.
Courting?
So I wasn't, this is going to sound super controlling. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't supposed to date in high school.
Right.
So my parents were like, yeah, don't date. I did.
Yeah. You just didn't tell them.
No, they kind of knew. It was more like, no, we're just friends. They hang out a lot.
Yeah, you didn't tell them.
And so kind of, no, I told them. They knew, but somehow just weaseled my way into doing whatever I wanted.
Right.
But yeah, they're actually pretty good relationships, and so it wasn't. They were good Christian girls that were great.
Yeah.
Playing football, you kind of.
Yeah.
It's so shallow.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. Like, so I was a starter on the football team, and so you just are automatically popular.
Yeah.
Which is, again, so I could be the worst person in the world, but I'm automatically popular because you start on the football team. It's so shallow, so sad to see.
What was your position?
I was a running back.
Okay, cool.
So, I loved it.
Even higher profile.
Yeah. So I was a running back. Yeah, it was so much fun, and I worked hard for it. I wasn't that big, pretty fast, but there were guys on my team that were much better than me.
Right.
And so I had to work really hard to play for sure.
Did you have NFL aspirations?
No, well, I think every kid wants to.
Yeah.
I was definitely not good enough for that. So I had a couple D3 and D2 scholarships.
Oh, nice.
Offers. I went to England instead. And so I didn't take up any of those offers, but I was planning on going to England for 6 months and taking one of those D2 scholarships and playing. I loved playing. Absolutely loved it. Some of the guys I played with though, they had NFL aspirations. So I played with 2 NFL players.
Oh, wow.
So they were the year above me. A guy named Melvin Gordon, who was a running back. He was drafted to the Chargers.
Nice.
And then a guy named Trey Waynes, he was drafted to the Vikings. He was a defensive back. They were incredibly good. And there was actually another running back on our team my senior year. So those guys graduated a year before me. There's another running back on our team that was, I had a full ride scholarship to Wisconsin. I think his sophomore year. He was better than me in every single way.
Wow.
Like everything he did was better than me as a running back. We did a split wing back. I don't know if you know much about football or love football.
My wife and I recently have gotten heavily into it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, let's watch a game together.
Sure.
I love football. And so we did a split wing back. So 2 halfbacks, 1 fullback. And so I was the second wing back. Yeah. I wasn't going to get all the touches, but that guy, his name is Vontae Jackson. He actually tore his ACL the first game of the season, which was terrible. We thought we were done. We thought our season was over. He was our number 1 player by far, number 1 player in the state.
So you had to step up.
I did have to step up. And it was a great year for me. So because of that, I'm not happy that happened. But because of that, I became kind of the main running back there and led the team in receptions, led the team in rushing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, all that stuff. And we actually went undefeated that year.
And because you're putting you're thrust into the spotlight, you got to develop your game.
Yeah, I didn't though. I didn't.
Well, I mean, we do to an extent. It's not like completely refined and evolved, but you get to meet your wife. She came to America first, and where did you meet? Did you meet in high school?
Just met. So I was about to graduate from high school. Yeah. And so I just I knew of her, didn't know her when she was in America. And it was connected. The church that I went to did this music school, and then she had flown back to England, and then I was going to England for this program.
Right.
And so I really got to know her in England.
But when you first saw her in the States, that's what she thought you were an idiot?
Yeah. We had one meeting because we all knew there was 5 of us that were going to go out and be part of this basically free labor, as you do. And so we were going to go out and serve the church. And so we had one meeting before she flew back. Her visa was ending for that year, and she had to move back. So we met once, and at that, when we met, she just thought I was an idiot. So
did you take your shot at least, or
no? I was just, I don't even know. I was just excited to go out to England, and
what did you do to make her think you were an idiot?
Too many things. So I'm a pretty high energy, out there. A lot of people describe me as the most extroverted extrovert they've ever met.
You're definitely a salesperson.
I've been told that a lot as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, I cannot sell something that I don't believe in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I cannot do that.
Yeah. You could sell your butt off, buddy. And it's not in a bad way. I don't mean that badly.
Yeah.
That's I've seen, I've gotten to know you now for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
And you're excellent. You're great at public speaking. You have good, concise messages. You know how to. I saw you speak last week and present what you guys do. Excellent job.
Thank you.
It made me want to help you.
Yeah, well, I'm ready for it. You can help me in any way.
That's why I had you on.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah. I do appreciate it. And that's. I thank you for the compliments as well. I'm not always great at taking compliments. I always try to push them to the side, but
I know. I get it.
Yeah,
I do the same thing. Doesn't happen as much these days.
You do have a great face for radio.
I really do.
You do have a great voice for radio.
I know.
See, that's a real compliment. I think your voice is like, hey, this is a real man. So I'm gonna try to talk a bit more like you.
Every now and then it kicks up. It's not always baritone, but I stammer a lot, and I have phlegm problems, but
I have been having phlegm issues recently. Allergies.
Yes.
So again, I was from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Get allergies there.
Oh yeah.
Tennessee allergies are different.
Oh yeah.
So I've been really struggling with these allergies.
I grew up. It's a bane of my existence. Hey, let's go into voiceovers and using your voice for a living. Oh, and you have post-nasal drip. Getting on those vocal cords, so you're constantly going coughing that crap up. So you moved to England.
Yep.
She's there first time, or you're there a couple of months?
So I was there in that specific area. She was about 3 hours away, finishing up a job that she had to do, and then she moved down. And so it basically took like a week or two for us to be like, yeah, we like each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
I no longer consider you an idiot. You have obviously matured.
Well...
And she was hearing the...
It only took 2 times of seeing me.
2 times.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I came to
are
England.
you kidding me?
I came to England. I mean, come on. Why am I here? Let's take our shot.
She saw me playing rugby. She's like, this. And she just thought, this is a real man.
I love a man in a polo.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't really wear polos back then. I was a shorts t-shirt guy, like athletic shorts t-shirt. I was very...
Wasn't kind of like a rugby shirt like a polo or no?
Oh, yeah, you're actually right.
Yeah.
You know what? You're smarter than me.
I don't know about that.
They'll do that. And then they have short shorts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's hot.
It's like girls' volleyball team, but reverse.
Yeah. But the guy shorts are just like, I've never worn shorts like that. My dad did, like in high school.
Well, that was the 70s.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Dad, look at me. And I didn't love it at first. I was like, I don't feel comfortable in these short shorts, but that's what you have to wear.
So you're 19, 20 years old at that time, and she's the same age?
No, she's 5 years older.
Oh,
so
okay.
she was very happy when I turned 20.
Oh, wow.
And she could say, I don't like a teenager.
Right.
So when I turned 20, she was 25. That was a lot more helpful for her.
Yeah. That time gets compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even notice it now.
Nope.
I remind her of it all the time. I say it all the time. Oh, my wife is way older than me, but I don't notice it. I just.
And you've been married 11 years?
11 years, yeah.
Wow.
11 amazing years.
So I mean, how long you went from dating and getting engaged?
Yeah. So we dated 9 months, engaged 9 months,
Okay.
married 11 years.
There you go.
It would be nice if it was 9 years. That would all fit. But
Right.
yeah, 9 months dating, 9 months engaged, and then married.
And
Pretty
then,
quick.
and so I mean, so pretty much the entire, you spent a lot of your time together in England.
Yeah.
And moved back here shortly, a couple of years ago, not that long ago.
Yeah. So I moved out there in 2013 and we moved back in 2023. I was out there 10 years, 8 days.
Okay.
So, and then we were in Wisconsin for most of that. We've been in Tennessee 9 or 10 months now.
Okay.
Moved in July. You can do the math.
She's only been to Wisconsin and here in the States and Tennessee?
So her sister-in-law tours in a band. And so she's been to other places short term.
Right.
But she hasn't.
Isn't that by
lived in
other
other
your
places.
sister-in-law too, though?
Oh, sorry, her sister.
Her
sister-in-law.
sister.
Did I
Okay.
say her sister-in-law?
Oh, yeah.
I lied. I lied to you.
Well, there you go.
That's a white lie.
That was that was a mistaken lie.
Yeah, no, her sister, my sister-in-law.
That was a misspeaking.
A misspoken.
And your sister, and we talked about, can we bring her up?
Yeah, I think that's fine. If
But
I get in trouble, I get in trouble.
She's a drummer for Skillet.
Yes.
Is she British as well?
She is British, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
I had
so
no idea.
she has less of an accent because she came over here. She actually came over, I think, at 16 or 17.
Okay.
And she's lived here since then. And so she's lost a bit more of her accent. My wife's only been here 3 years. And so.
Dude, I got to meet your wife. You got to bring her to BNI.
Yeah, I could bring her. I got 3 kids. That's the tough bit.
Bring them too.
So I've got a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old son, and a 7-month-old daughter.
Ah, nice.
And so they might be a little distracting.
Right.
But I could definitely try to bring her to BNI sometime.
Maybe the soccer game. 'Cause
Okay.
I think we're planning a Nashville Soccer Club outing.
Are you allowed to bring spouses to that? or-
Yeah. I mean, that's why I kind of brought it up because my wife loves soccer.
Okay.
She can take such issue that you said that about soccer.
You know what? I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But the whole soccer thing, your mom made you play soccer. It's almost like my mom when we grew up. I knew I was a drummer since I was like 6.
Yeah.
You know, saw MTV for the first time. And I believe it was Money Changes Everything by Cyndi Lauper. And I saw my now good pal, Sandy Gennaro, back in his heyday, playing the drums in a live event. And I remember seeing that video going, that's what I want to do. I know if I were to play an instrument, my brother was a piano player, still is. And I was always kind of envious because I'm like, man, I want to play an instrument too.
Yeah.
But I know it's not that. I know it's not
Something
guitar.
different.
I know I want to play the drums. And in my elementary school, they were doing, hey, you want to join the band? And yeah, well, what do you want to do? I want to do the drums. And my mom was like, no, Jimmy, nah, the drums are too loud. Okay, well,
That's fair.
What would you want me to play? You know, I really like the saxophone. I always like the saxophone. Well, yeah, because that's not loud. You know, saxophones aren't loud or squeaky or god awful when you don't know how to play them. So I was like, okay. You know, and she got me a saxophone that lasted maybe 3 months, and it sat and collected dust. How can you not play any saxophone? Because I'm just not into this. You know, it's not. You know, I know how to play the MasterCard jingle. back then. And what do you got to play? The drums. That's too loud. For those of you listening, that's me impersonating her smoking a cigarette. She smoked like a chimney. And, a couple of years go by, and I said, I really just want to play drum. Can you send me a freaking drum kit? I mean, I would literally put out encyclopedias on my brother's bed, and he had all the cool music, and because he had been playing a long time, been in bands. He had an actual PA system in his freaking bedroom. I'm not kidding. Like giant speakers for his keyboards. He had racks you see in the bands back then, big old multi-tier racks of keyboards. And he had an ability in a CD player and had a whole big thing, a rack of all the good music. So I'd play to Night Ranger and all the stuff, and I just learned.
Just playing on the books.
And I got into it, and they finally relented, got me a piece of garbage kit, $75 with cymbals that were probably made out of Reynolds aluminum foil. And first song I played, was Jump by Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
And I probably played it wrong.
Jump.
Because you got to play it a certain way. But man, fish to water. So
you haven't gone back since then?
Saxophone was my soccer,
So I wasn't made to play soccer.
Right.
My mom didn't make, I
wasn't made to play the saxophone.
But my mom didn't make me play soccer.
Right.
I loved soccer. If I could have played soccer and football, I would have done that.
Right.
But they're the same season. And so I begged my mom every year, can I play football? My dad was always fine with it.
Yeah.
He wanted to see me play football. I was always bigger than other kids as well.
Right.
For some reason, I stopped growing in 8th grade. I think I've grown an inch or two since 8th grade.
Yeah.
And so I was always bigger than other kids. And then I was all of a sudden the smallest kid on the football team. So she was just always scared I was going to get hurt. And I'm like, Mom, I'm bigger than everyone. They're going to get hurt, not me. And then she finally just relented.
Yeah. Just take faith, Mom.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
She was that mom that's like, well, as long as I wrap you in bubble wrap or something. I'm like, Mom, you're embarrassing me, Mom.
So you get a good taste of, dare we say, the church business.
Yeah.
Doing all the things. You have a very benevolent heart, I'm sure, going into it, making sure that the gospel is being put out there and stuff like that. Leading up to what brought you here and what you're doing now, let's talk a bit about that. How did that all unfold?
Yeah. So what brought me to Tennessee?
Yeah.
So my wife had worked for Alliance for 3 years.
Right.
And so we started in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's where I was living. So I knew about Alliance pretty well. And at the time, I was a youth pastor in a church. And there were just some things that went on in the church that were just a little tough, things that I didn't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of me and my wife talked about it for a while and made a decision that we just had to leave the church.
Right.
We didn't feel comfortable staying in the church that we were in because there were just some things in leadership that we were not happy with.
Right.
And being paid by the church and on staff, you feel responsible for that stuff. If you're not dealing with it, that's on you. Mm-hmm. And so we tried to deal with it for a while. Things didn't go the way we thought they would. Mm-hmm. And we got to a place where we're like, hey, I think we need to leave the church.
Was it frustrating because you felt like you had to do something? And it was because we always have these little moments in life where we're supposed to believe and have faith and forget that who is ultimately in control.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was just like, look, I get it. This is God talking to you. Move back. I'll take care of this. In the end, all this stuff gets washed out anyway. So was that kind of going through your mind too? Or
are you saying
you lose sight of that?
I felt like I had to do something, so that's why I did it?
Yeah, you have an urging. You feel like it was the divine urging, like, okay, or was it kind of like this, I know this is wrong. This is something that I have to try and fix or address?
Yeah, no, I didn't feel like a weight to have to do it really. It was more, I saw some things that were confusing.
Right.
And I kind of dug deeper in those things to try to sort it out. I think that's what most people do. You find something that you're not happy with. You go, okay, why is this the case? And then it just led down, just uncovering different things that weren't good, and didn't feel like I had to. There's a weight to it of I work for the church, I need to do this, but there's also a side of no, I want to get to the bottom of this. For the sake of my family, I want to have my family in a church that's good and doing the right things.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was more, hey, I want to make sure that I'm doing things right before God. And I want to make sure I'm raising my kids in a good environment.
Was it kind of like, was that an idol of sorts? Because we all, churches around here, you put up a Facebook post, hey, I'm church shopping. I'm looking for a church. And I'm sure you've seen it. Mm-hmm. It's, within the first minute.
Churches.
Oh gosh, just, hundreds of comments. Come see us, come visit us. We've got the greatest. Oh, our church is the greatest, and there's a branding element that happens in that business where, our church family. It's like, okay, stop, dial it back. Okay, calm down. There's that happens a lot. It's almost like an idolatry.
Yeah. Yes.
Within.
Yeah.
I
get what you're saying there. Yes. And I think we kind of chatted a little bit about it earlier when I was saying, you put your trust in a person.
Right.
If you keep putting your trust in people, they're going to fail you. And I think that's sometimes what we do is we put our trust in a specific church, which is people.
Yeah.
And that can fail you. And I think I definitely have done that in my life.
Yeah.
Where I've kind of made, and I love the church that I went to. I love the church that I was serving in. I love the church that I was working for. And I would definitely be like, hey, come here. This is a great place. Yeah. And I think I overdid that.
Right.
I overdid that to the point where hey, I should actually be pointing people to Jesus instead of the things that I'm doing or the things that my church is doing.
Right.
And so I think that's something that I'm actually working through right now.
We've got Hebrews. We have coffee. The Hebrews. Yeah.
I'm actually, so funny enough, I'm not a coffee drinker. So I don't like the 3 most popular drinks in the world. I'm not. I don't drink coffee.
Right.
I don't drink tea, and I don't really drink alcohol.
But that's the thing is that a lot of people are looking for that God in a box. Mm-hmm. They treat it like consumerism.
Yep.
Well, I want a church with a good kids program, and it's got to have this and small groups and, make sure that we're engaged, and we want to build our life and family and have our friendships in here. And it's like, you learn over time.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of interesting revelations have happened since I've gotten out of my church that I was in when the church hurt happened. Realizing exactly that. Well, God saying to you, well, you looked in the wrong place. You're not supposed to look to the people. They're going to let you down.
Yeah.
All right. I won't.
Yep.
Don't put your faith in them. Put your faith in me. And as the further you get away, you realize, well, I want to have those robust friendships. And you look at the friendships are they superficial friendships that are in the church, or are they really that deep?
Yeah.
Because when they're put to the test, you're going to find out who your friends are. That is a very true statement.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I've come to the realization, I'm like, Jesus himself actually modeled the human capability for relationships with the disciples.
Yeah.
We can really only humanly handle up to 12 people.
Yeah.
We just can't handle anymore. We just don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
And we could probably only have really 2 or 3 good friends. Is there 2 or 3 people on the inner circle?
Yeah.
He kind of modeled it.
Yeah.
And people, when they tell people that, they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
I've heard so many pastors say, if I could redo anything, I'd just get a group of 12 men.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone actually do it.
Right.
But if I could redo it, I'd just go back and I would mentor 12 men.
Does your garage door sound like this? If it does, it's screaming for help. Call Incredible Doors, 931-348-DOOR. We're making garage doors in Murray and Williamson counties work better and sound better. We just make them incredible again. Go to IncredibleDoors.com or call 931-348-DOOR. Follow us on Facebook for specials on maintenance visits, keypads, and other items. 931-348-DOOR. IncredibleDoors.com. If I were to start a church, and I was telling about my business partner, John, when I first met him.
Great name, by the way.
Great John. He had he still has it, a young adults group.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing is turning into a church. He had maybe 7 or 8 people in this group when I first met him back in 2018. And now it's grown to where he's probably got over 50, 60 people coming to this thing. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So you can start out with all the right intents.
Yeah.
If I were to do it, I would emblaze it on the side of a wall. Welcome to Jim's church, or whatever we're going to call it. We will let you down. That will be a core principle.
Yeah.
we will let you down. Do not look to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though we're aware of our sin, there's an elevated awareness of our sinful nature, and we need to be in combat with that, we're still going to screw up.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to let you down.
Yep.
I think that would attract a lot of people.
Yeah.
We're just going to shoot straight.
Yeah. Straight.
Well, I feel like it says right there, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to look to me. This is not how this works.
Yeah.
You know, why nobody talks about that?
No. And I think we have wrongly put, pastors on a pedestal.
Right. Cults of personality.
Yeah. But there is the reverse. I think pendulum swinging is a bad thing.
How so? What does that mean? So
if you go, hey, one side of the pendulum swing is, hey, this guy is the guy. He is everything. I'm putting all my trust in this person.
Right.
If you pendulum swing and go, hey, I don't trust anyone. And no one can tell me what to do. I have no accountability in my life. Both of those things are actually damaging and harmful.
Yeah.
And so if you're saying, hey, I'm putting all my trust in someone, or if you're saying I'm never trusting someone and no one can ever be accountability over me, we need to meet somewhere in the middle where we go, hey, I don't trust everything you do, and I know you're going to let me down. Like you put it on the wall. I know you're going to let me down.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some of that trust because you're my church leader, because you're my small group leader, because this is the role that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But when you let me down, it's not going to be as devastating because I know that will happen.
It's a candor.
I would want to say that to other people. I will let you down.
Yeah.
There will be something that I do that lets you down. Now, that doesn't mean everything I do is going to let you down, but there will be something. So if I think sometimes we just love to pendulum swing as people.
Let's
if
lead
it's
with
not
that.
this, then it has to be this. And it's like, no, actually, it's probably somewhere in the middle. That's probably the safest place to be.
Which on, another little, again, real conversations that have tangents. Jesus said, you're either hot or cold or I spit you out. Don't be lukewarm.
Yeah. Yep. And, people don't like lukewarm people anyway on any subject.
Yeah.
If you're just.
But the reality is, we can A/B test things all day long and have a human construct of whatever that concept is in terms of, well, you're either going to be like this or you're going to be like this. Well, no, we're going to let you down.
Yeah.
That's the middle ground. Yeah. We're leading with that,
Yes.
And that's where a lot of, I think, I don't know, studies have shown where the church landscape is in trouble, or at least the current American model of it is in trouble. But there is a little bit of a revival that's happening.
Yeah.
Which is actually, speaking of pendulum, the book that's behind me, I talk about it all the time. We're right on schedule for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very odd to kind of see how things are playing out. But in the marketing of churches, the candor strategy is a good one. In the 22 immutable laws of marketing, it's actually one of the rules, one of the laws. The law of candor says when you can't, if the prospect can't give you a positive, admit a negative to elicit a positive. And they did it. They back in the 80s, because the book is very old, but the principles are still very relevant when it comes to human behavior and marketing. Avis and Hertz were the big rental car players back in the day. And Hertz was the number one, I believe. So Avis came out and said, look, we may not be number one, but we sure try harder. And it was admitting a negative.
Yeah.
We're not number one. We know it. Well, because of that, we try harder. And that won them favor. Because no one, oh my gosh, they're admitting something
being
bad.
honest.
They're being honest. They're shooting straight.
And that I think that's something we crave as people, is honesty.
Yeah, just shoot straight with me.
When someone is honest with you, even if it's something that you don't love completely,
right?
When someone's honest with you, you're like, oh, there's a trust that happens.
Yeah.
And I think trust is really what we crave. We want to be able to trust people, and we want people to trust us.
Yeah.
And I think that's done through honesty.
Well, do you ever meet a lot of churches have the elders, or kind of, which are basically are the board of any given business. That's the way I kind of see the construct is you have the pastor, that's the CEO, he's the one that's kind of leading the vision, shaping the culture, somewhat calling the shots, but checks and balances being within the eldership.
Yeah.
The board, if you will. On the elders, you see a lot of, because you in the church where I was, we had a very young pastor. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have heard of him now. His name is Josh Howerton. I love everything that he's doing now. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. So if you're listening to this, Josh, I've been trying to contact you because I'd love to get you on some podcasts that I produce, and I think you'd be amazing. Back then, it was just tough to take him seriously because he was still in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he's talking about life issues and things about marriage. I'm like, dude, you don't have the license to talk about this yet.
Yeah.
You're too young. You got to get some more laps around the sun.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably an issue that a lot of people had, but he had the charisma, his father, man, what a that dude could give a sermon like no one's business. He was so damn good. Still is, I'm sure. But his son got into the lead pastor position at the Bridge Church down here in Spring Hill. And he had the charisma. He had the ability to articulate a good sermon. And let's admit, man, he was a good looking dude. Still is. All right. I don't know if you follow him on X or anything.
I don't. I will after this.
Yeah. But, now he's kind of got the guns going. He's got, not like that, but he's getting there. But he's very good and articulate. And now he's in his 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, okay. You got kids. You've got a decade or more and a half of marriage under your belt. Yeah, absolutely. I could take what you're saying very seriously. You've got laps. You've got battle scars. But he was the guy back then. And what kind of did it for me, what really turned me off and maybe, dare I say, hardened my heart a little bit, was right around the Sandy Hook event. Because Sandy Hook hit us, my wife and I, primarily on 3 different levels. It was one town over where we grew up that it happened. It happened to kids who were the same age as my kids. And on the 3rd level, Courtney, my wife, is very intuitive. And the day it happened, I met her and some of my kids for lunch. And we were just kind of processing everything that was happening. And I happened to look at my phone, and at that point, they had an approximation of the body count. And she didn't even know what I was looking at. And she looked up at me, and she goes, "How many?" I'm like, "How did you even know I was looking at that?" I said, I think it was 23. So I said 23, and she just, I know one of them. And I get back to work. An hour later, I get a frantic phone call. She's very upset, and she says, Previty, Caroline Previty was the one. That was the niece of one of her brother's ex-girlfriends. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that happened on a Friday. Sunday comes, and I go to church. And it was during the month of December, so they were trying to ramp up with their gift for Christ, which essentially was, hey, we want a new building, so pony up. And it was hardly any mention. There were all these new faces in the audience, if you will, people that were looking for peace, for solace, I need help processing this in a much higher plane of existence than what I'm currently aware of. And no, joy to the world. All things are good, status quo. And it's like,
there's more to life.
It was so tone deaf.
Yeah.
So tone deaf.
Yeah. So would you be someone that is for, talking about cultural issues from the pulpit, or obviously that's an event that's happened that's going to affect a lot of people,
right?
But as far as like, hey, we should be relevant to what.
How would I handle it?
Yeah,
I would have handled it by saying I would have a very candor approach.
Yeah,
and I knew that back then. Not that I've had 15 years to think about how I knew exactly back then. And it was based on a sermon that Josh gave that was world class.
Yeah.
I said, I just wish you would have gotten up there and say, guys, I don't know how to handle this.
Yes.
I don't know. I've prayed about it. And I think the best way to handle it is that we just bow our heads. We ask God to give peace to those who are directly involved, to wrap his arms around the kids who were lost, to just do what you do and help the world understand that it wasn't supposed to. I'm getting tearful thinking about this. It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
That, you know, and one of the things I felt compelled to do things with video very few times in my life. And one of them was to take all the footage, and the song that kept on resonating in my mind was a Jeremy Camp song.
Yeah.
There Will Be a Day.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes,
it just kept on ringing over and over and over my head. I'm like, I got to put a video together. And the video's on YouTube. You can watch it still. Yeah. And I did, just out of like, God was putting a weight on my shoulders. I've felt that weight before. Mm-hmm. And I've done things that were like, really, you want me to do this? Yeah. And I'm going to put this weight on your shoulders until you do it. And literally when I would do it, I'd feel like that, just that weight lifted off your shoulders. That happened to me probably 4 times in my life. This was one of them. That's great. So I just obeyed, put the video out there, and I said, for anybody who needs some sort of peace in their life, I hope this helps.
Yes.
So I wish he would have handled it.
Yep.
I don't know what to say. I'm 29 years old. I'm 30 years old. All I know is that Jesus wept.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And he knows that the design of what we're living in this is not supposed to be how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something like that.
Yeah. I think that, and you know, just to pick up on one of the things, I love how you just described so naturally and so easily God speaking to you.
Yeah.
Like, I just think sometimes when I hear some people talking about God speaking to them, you're like, you make no sense. This sounds crazy, mystical, and out there, airy-fairy. And you just described it so well. Like, you know, I just had a weight that I needed to do something, and I knew it was from God.
Yeah.
And I just love that you explained that so well. I love that you responded to that. You know, I think if you didn't respond to that weight, I don't know what, maybe you'd still have that weight on you or something else, but
I don't know if he's tried to put, if I feel urging, I know to respond because I know it's real.
Yeah.
The first time, or one of the times that happened to me, I was working for a radio station. It was during Christmas time. It could have been the environment. We were at the Salvation Army in downtown Nashville. We were doing some video work for the radio station I worked for their Angel Tree program, which we engaged with.
Angel Tree, yeah.
And we were interviewing a lot of the people that were applying for the program and stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, Angel Tree is a program where people who can't afford gifts for their kids, you're able to take an angel off a Christmas tree or locations that participate, and essentially buy gifts for kids who may not have a Christmas. So it's a beautiful program. And I get my camera out. Anna Marie Ritter is handling all the interviews, who's one of our personalities at Mix 92.9. And she's interviewing a woman, and I'm playing cameraman, you know, got the tripod, got the viewfinder out. And as we're interviewing this woman, I felt the weight. And I was like, you know, tell her I love her. And I'm sitting there just looking at the viewfinder going, yeah, I'm not going to, that's
a little crazy.
Am I impractical jokers or something? I mean, do I get the bug in my ear and the guys are sitting behind there laughing their butts off? Tell you, you know, and I kid you not, John. We wrapped up the interview. We went and interviewed other people. I think some of the guys for Restless Heart were there. We interviewed them. Every time I set up my camera, this woman would be in my periphery. Somewhere here or to my left or off in the thing. She was always within my sight. And we finally wrapped it. We were on like the 5th interview. We were outside under a tree. And there she was again. And just every time it happened, I felt this weight on my shoulder. Like I physically was bent over.
Yep.
Fine,
I'll do it.
Fine. Okay. You got me. We wrap up the interview. I take everything down and I walk over to the woman. I said, I don't normally do this. I said, but I feel like I have to tell you something. I'm going to go well up again here. And she's just kind of looking at me. I said, I feel like I got to tell you that God wants to you to know that he loves you and that you are loved. And you need to know that. And she just, she just completely melted.
Yeah.
And as soon as those words left my mouth, it was like,
yep.
The weight lifted off. I kid you not. Kid you not.
Yeah.
That weight is the reason why we have a third child.
Praise the Lord. I bet your child is happy for that.
Oh, she moved up to 9th grade today. I just wanted 2 kids. Nope. My wife was like, we're having 3 kids. I'm like, I'm okay. You better find somebody. Because she's like, well, I see us with 3 kids. I'm like, I don't. So,
now you've got 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife always gets what she wants. So
it wasn't about that. That day that I, decided, or at least was, it was implied to me in the weight. Mm-hmm. It was a voice that said, give her what she wants. I was rounding Saturn Parkway coming home from work. And that was the day she gave up on the concept of having 3 kids. She's like, wow. She's like, it's funny you say this to me today because I just decided that it's not going to be a reality.
That's crazy.
Dude.
I love it.
It's hair raising.
Yeah.
So obviously this is a business podcast, but we're going all over the place.
We are. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, it's just kind of naturally came out and hopefully somebody needed to hear that.
Yeah.
With you and Alliance, do you now see the reason why all those things happened and you separated out of what you were in?
Yeah, I actually do,
really?
Which is great. I probably wouldn't have said that 5 months ago.
Really?
So, it's a tough situation we were in. It was hard to go through that. And, you were talking about church hurt and things. It's difficult to go through those types of things. But if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here working for Alliance right now. So when we decided, I didn't finish the whole story because I probably went off on other things, but we decided to move down here, kind of a bit of a step of faith, didn't have a job or anything. And 3 days after deciding to move down, they offered me a job. So again, my wife already worked with them. I was the youth pastor for their oldest kid, our CEOs. And so I did have a relationship with them, but they offered me a job and I was like, you know what, this is something that I believe in. So it's a pro-life, gospel-centered clinic. And I said, I can really see myself working here. Mm-hmm. I can really see myself. I feel like I can't do a job that I'm not passionate about. I can't long-term do a job that I don't believe in. I can't sell something I don't believe in.
Of course.
Can't do a job that I don't believe in for long. Because I'm just going to be like, what's the point? What's the purpose? And so I just saw myself going, I could do this. This is something I'm passionate about. Pro-life is something I'm really passionate about. We can get into all that and all the reasons for that. But now being here 9 months, 10 months, I just see the purposes that God pulled me out of something to give me direction to be here and to be doing the stuff that I'm doing here. And I'm thankful for that now, which is crazy. I'm thankful that I was able to go through some of that stuff to lead me to this point. And I'm not thankful that all the things happened, but I'm thankful to be where I am right now.
Well, I mean, you're in a situation where true witnessing can really take hold because people are in a very vulnerable situation, women, of course, and they're probably at the end of their rope.
Yeah.
They're desperate. There's an element of, what are some of the reactions? I mean, there's an element, I would imagine, of disbelief, a lot of non-believers that you're engaging with.
Yeah.
In a scenario like this, because it's a highly controversial topic.
Yes, very controversial.
And you're a guy, trying to help women out.
Yeah.
How does that work? I mean, what kind of pushback did you get? What kind of experiences do you have?
So answer a couple of these questions. First, I think it's actually quite mixed on people that are coming into our clinic that are Christians and non-Christians, or claiming Christianity, not claiming Christianity. And so I think sadly, abortion has become so normal in our society that people just kind of throw it out there like it's nothing.
Right. And
so it used to be that, hey, this was something that I think as society we thought was wrong. Years and years ago when it was, first made legal, hey, it happens, but it's super rare. Now it's all the time.
Yeah.
I gave a statistic at BNI, 3,000 to 3,500 abortions happen every day in America.
Yeah.
That's an average of every 25 seconds there's an abortion. And so it's a normal thing now. It's normal in society.
There was my daughter, again, college, a lot of my kids are finding their way in the world.
Yeah.
And I think every human being on this planet has a fork in the road they come to, whether you're going to believe or not believe.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to think you can have it your way. Good luck. Or you're going to believe.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get more challenging. When you have those types of situations, when you're talking about this especially, one of the conversations that came up with my daughters, getting back to that, was she's like, so-and-so compared abortion to the Holocaust. And I said, and she was so abhorred by it. She was appalled. And I said, you're, first of all, I believe you're probably headline reading.
Yep.
And that's the media trying to get you puffed up with rage. It's called rage bait.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but they wanted clicks to read the articles so they could get paid by their advertisers. Here's what they're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained it to her. Whether it took root, I don't know. But again, I see myself as more of a seed planter.
Yeah.
There's an element of being just a consultant to your kids, when they're young, like in your what stage what you are, you can really you can program them. Yeah. But eventually the world's going to get through.
I'm going to be stronger than the world, though.
You pray.
Now.
You pray and hope. I mean, but some of the best witnesses are ones that are kind of walking down the path I walked. My wife walked. My kids probably will be walking.
Yeah.
Because they know why.
Yeah.
They believe. With that being said, though, for those of you who don't know, the reason why they called it like worse than the Holocaust is because do the numbers on it.
Yes. I was actually going to bring that up because I would actually make that comparison.
Yeah.
And so I know some people say this is terrible. Why would you make this comparison? This is, the Holocaust was targeting a specific group, and that is completely evil. I think we can all say that was such one of the darkest evils I think we've seen in the world, at least in written history.
But you know what? Again, tangent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's happened before.
Yep.
I mean, you look at the Spartans.
Mm-hmm.
If you were born with an imperfection, you were thrown off a cliff.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah. And I do think, though, that abortion, again, I'm going to get in trouble for all this stuff. I think abortion is worse than the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Obviously, just off of sheer numbers, it's worse. But if you look at the history of, even just Planned Parenthood, I don't know if you've ever looked into it. Margaret Sanger, she was a massive racist. Mm-hmm. And so she actually wanted to get rid of black people in America.
I've heard that, yeah.
And so I think we can all say that's extremely evil. Mm-hmm. It's eugenics.
Yeah.
She was bringing in very similar things to the Holocaust, of trying to get rid of a certain group of people. And that is, it doesn't get too much more evil than that in my eyes. And again, if you look at the sheer numbers, if you look at all the wars that America has ever had, and if you look at all the abortions America has ever had, it is insane how much more death there is from abortion than every single war combined that America has ever seen. Every single sickness that America has ever seen. Like it's crazy when you look at the numbers. And so I don't think that comparison is actually crazy.
Yeah.
I think that comparison actually makes sense. I think abortion is the greatest evil our country's ever seen, because it takes. Now this goes down to whether you value human life, and if you believe that the baby in the womb is human life. That would be my belief.
Yeah,
I believe that the baby in the womb from conception is a human being, and I believe that every human being has value, not because I say it, but because God has given value. And so it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with God. God has given every single human being value, no matter how old you are, no matter how small you are, no matter how big you are, you all have value. And so to me, abortion is taking an innocent life.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you think it has value or not, doesn't matter. Whether I think it has value or not, doesn't matter. God has given every human being value. He has created every single human being, so they have value.
Yeah.
And you're ending that life. It's just a crazy, terrible thing. And I'm passionate about it. I want to see it changed. I do think at some point we can get in America where we actually see that abortion is wrong and we make it illegal. I would love to see that in my lifetime. I want to fight for abortion.
Yeah. You can't legislate morality though.
No, but I want to fight for abortion so that my kids don't have to.
Right.
I want to be a winner. I'm not a loser. I want to be a winner. I want abortion to be done before my kids are fighting for this. And I do think, you said, what did you just say about morality?
You can't legislate morality.
But I think we do that with almost everything else. So the laws that we have in place are put there because of morals.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, not too many years ago, abortion was illegal. And things changed in society. And even when it was first made legal, it wasn't accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten to a place, because these last few generations have only known it being legal, it's become accepted. And so I think we're not too far removed from that. We might be closer to going back to that as well.
Yeah.
And so,
well, a lot of the controlling the narrative and the terminology in a debate is a lot of what happens when these things are debated. Mm-hmm. Reframing what abortion is now healthcare.
Oh,
okay.
Don't get me started.
Right.
On that one.
And it's a lot of, and it's like the more you see it, as I get older, they say the devil roars across this planet and he's got dominion of the earth and he roars across the planet like a lion. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of roaring going on there. It's everywhere. Everybody, it's just so much vitriol out there. And this, again, tangent, meandering conversation. My brother's getting, we're having a party for their marriage in August, he and his wife. And he's been looking for someone to provide a PA system at this venue. He's a musician and he's having his band play. And for the longest time, we couldn't get anybody to come back and engage us. So finally, I'm like, let me try it again. I'll put a picture up, maybe get attention. So we got a lot of engagement. And I just provide them like, hey, need a PA system for a gig in August. Provide details, DM me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you got people out there that have Facebook muscles that pop on and say, well, obviously you've never done this before, so I'll help you out. We need a lot more details than this. And I'm like, well, I have done this before. DM me, dickhead. Dude, what the crap? You don't know me from Adam.
Yep.
Why? That was totally unnecessary. And it's like, the funny thing is, we'll probably end up hiring this guy. And I will talk to him and say, like, dude, totally not necessary. Why'd you do that?
Why would you mean?
Yeah. You don't have to say that. Obviously, I haven't done that. You don't know that about me. What the crap, man? We need less of that.
Yes.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, I forgive you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I just think it's a topic that is, it's becoming, I don't know if you could say more popular to talk about. It's definitely a subject that people would say we shouldn't talk about. And, you talked about it earlier, being a man in this area.
Yeah.
In the pro-life area or in the women's clinic area. That's part of the reason why I want to be in the job that I'm in.
Yeah.
Is because I think, sadly, I think men have failed in this area. Mm-hmm. That we kind of hear, I kind of make a joke of this. It's really serious, but it's also a joke. We're told you have no womb, no opinion, right?
Right.
But 100% of pregnancies involve a man.
Right.
It's like, it's a ridiculous thing. All of pregnancies involve a man. Men should be able to have a voice in these things. And so I do want to be a voice in this realm as a man. And I think us as men need to stand up and from, this is a biblical view, obviously. But I believe that men are called to stand up and protect those that can't protect themselves, mm-hmm. and be a voice for those that don't have a voice. And for me, if you look at all the people in the world, the unborn children most fall in that category. They cannot protect themselves and they do not have a voice.
Right.
And so I think as men, biblically speaking, I know if you don't believe in the Bible, you're not going to believe this at all, but I believe we are called to protect those that cannot protect themselves. You know, if I go out with my wife and someone comes to try to mug us or attack us, I am going to jump in front and I'm not going to be like, oh, Marie, deal with that.
Do what you want with the girl, but leave me alone.
Yes, there's no way I'm going to be doing that because I know, and you know, you get into, you're just
toxic masculinity. Oh my gosh.
We said it together. Toxic masculinity. Yeah. But the thing is, I will protect my wife because I'm the man.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And again, I'm going to get in trouble for saying all this stuff.
I don't think you're going to get in trouble. I think a lot of this is coming to light as will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And it's
half of that was the Bible.
Yeah, it will set you free. And we're living in a time, a day and age. You've heard it said before. Well, I just want my kids to have it better than we did. Mm-hmm. I want my kids to have a better life than I did. Right?
Yeah.
We all want that for their children. Why? I'm honestly thinking, no. They need to struggle.
Yep.
They really do, because we're living in a society now that I truly believe this is what happens when a society has had it too good. You have no idea what suffering and struggle
weak
is.
People.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of that evident in society today. Okay. We have to invent things to give us the illusion of struggle and suffering.
Yep.
We don't know what true suffering is.
I completely agree.
Okay. And that's, again, per the book that I always point to. The old saying is, and it's actually in fourths, strong men create good times times create weak men create bad times create strong men, or people, if you will.
And we're getting into the point of bad times. We have weak men.
We are, per the book, and I've brought that up a multitude of times, as of 2023, we should have lived through 1943 all over again. But during 1943, we're in the midst of a world war where a lot of uncertainty was happening. A lot of people were living in this country and abroad, wondering what the outcome was going to be. We're still, now we know, 2 years away at 1943 from a resolution and a wrap up of what inevitably became what we now know as the not the Allied powers, but the German, Japanese fronts failing. The Axis. Yeah. Back then in 1943, they had no idea what the outcome was. There's a lot of mental anguish and true anxiety. I'm like, holy crap, are we going to be speaking German? Are we going to be living under a dictatorship rule? This could happen. This could come here to America.
Yep.
There were sightings of U-boats off the coast. German U-boats.
Yep.
Okay. Japan, after the bomb went off, was flying like, there's reports of them trying to bomb our country using like, dirigibles, airships.
Yeah.
Literally putting them in like helium balloons and stuff like that and sneaking them over and getting them past our radar unnoticed. Yeah. And I think they actually succeeded. If this has never made it to, I mean, it might be a conspiracy. I don't know. I've heard these things, but you got to think about the people who lived through that.
Yes.
Not only on the front lines, people who were displaced, who had to be moved out of the country, people who were put on rail cars and sent to, what's the place in Poland? Warsaw and where they had the concentration camps. I can't remember the name, old man brain. But all the concentration camps, that was true suffering.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're 2 generations removed from the people who actually, my parents wouldn't remember that.
Yeah.
They were babies.
Yep.
So the generation, my grandparents, my grandmother, and
tough as nails,
because it's like, shit, then we might actually, this, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. Definitely.
And it's like, it's teaching the history and intrinsically feeling what it felt like, knowing what it felt like, 2 entirely different things. I can tell my kid all day long, don't touch the hot stove. Eventually they're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to call you on that and double down and see what your idea of hot is. And completely touch the stove.
Hands gone.
We don't have any of that. We might have had it with COVID, but that was more of a psyop, I believe.
Yeah, that
wasn't bloody.
No.
And if you go back,
it's tough on a social side of things.
Right. if you go back every 80 years, we've had a bloody calamity. We're overdue. Unfortunately, we are. I hate to put it this way. And it might be in the form of a civil war. Blood has to be spilled.
Yep.
Because what happens after that? It's a great reset button. They're like, okay, we don't want to do that again.
Yep.
That's why we had the baby boom. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of weak people right now.
Yeah, but I think we have a lot of quiet, strong people.
Okay. Yeah,
okay?
no, that's a great point.
I believe that a lot of the weak people just have a voice and a platform, and eventually the strong people are going to be like, okay, shut the hell up. I've had enough.
Yep.
They're just staying quiet because it's not popular to speak out.
Yeah.
It's getting more popular.
Yeah.
This is why Charlie Kirk got shot.
Yep.
Okay. He was simply saying his whole thing was like, look, when we start talking, we start fighting. When we stop talking, we start fighting.
Yep.
It gets violent.
Yep.
We need to keep talking.
Yep.
And it got violent. Someone took him out.
Yep.
You know?
I love Charlie Kirk, by the way. I'm a big Charlie Kirk fan. That was a tough time for me after that happened. Just seeing just the hate and the anger and
celebration.
The celebration of someone.
He was just trying.
Yeah. And he was talking. He was giving the mic to people that disagreed with him. Who does that?
Right.
Who gives the mic to someone who has completely opposite views and gives them a platform to be able to share what they have to say? And now it obviously goes back and forth. But yeah, I just love the stuff that he did and to see that was the outcome. I mean, it was tough for me. I had days of just tears. I had, just really struggled through that of like, okay, and I think what actually hit me was, this guy was killed for what he believes.
Yeah.
And I believe a lot of the same things.
Yep.
And so it hit me a little bit more personally, like, okay, if I've voiced myself, is someone going to want to shoot me? And there's two roads you can take there. You could say, well, I'm just going to be quiet now. Yeah. Which I think that's what they wanted to do is say, hey, if you talk about this stuff, you'll be quiet. I hope I take the other road where I go, you know what? No, I actually have some strong beliefs on things. I think these things are good and right, and I'm going to voice them.
Because the more this happens, you're going to start pissing off the people that have the guns.
Yes.
Okay, that's just the fact of the matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I'll piss them off.
Right. And that's and another. I'll challenge you on that. Because
challenge me.
A lot of believers, we forget that. To us, death is a big deal. It's final. It's, oh my gosh, what we now know in the current reality that we experience death, it's final. There's a finality about it. We don't get to talk to that person anymore. They're gone.
Yes.
But to God is like, it's just death.
Yeah.
We forget that.
Yeah.
I've overcome death. I've conquered death. Death, you have no sting.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just death, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep your eye on the prize. The eye on the prize is me.
Yes.
Okay. And that's, you always forget that. Stop dwelling on death.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
Your families, there's a little bit, I didn't want it this way, but this is how a fallen world operates.
Yes.
It's
100%. Broken world.
We're here, but I assure you, I have overcome death. And we always forget about that.
Yes.
Because it's our human understanding of it.
It's because we don't know anything that's infinite.
Right.
That's why we can't understand God.
Right.
We don't know anything that's everything we see, everything around us had a start and a finish. We don't have anything that never started, and we don't have anything that's not going to finish.
Right.
Trees will live longer than me, but I know it's going to die. And so we have just such a small view on what life is because that's what we know. That's what we see. And I do look forward to being with Jesus one day. Now, I don't look forward to dying and leaving my kids. That's the tough part is because when we know someone that's passed, we don't get to see them anymore.
But the actual act, like think about if you had your parents still around.
Yeah.
Your wife's parents still around.
Yep.
That's a rite of passage. Okay. The unnatural order of it is kids passing before the parents, but it still happens. Not supposed to happen that way, but it does.
Yeah.
When we lose our parents, a change happens in us. I can attest to this.
Yeah.
It really does. You're a lot more aware of your immortality. Or your mortality, not your immortality.
If you're immortal, you got to.
Yeah, just call me Thor.
Hi, I'm Jason Miller. I'm the owner of Christian Brothers Automotive here in Spring Hill, Tennessee. We fix cars here, both European and domestic, from simple oil changes to complete engine rebuilds and replacements. Most important thing, though, is while you're waiting, we've got the best snack game in town, and we invite you to make yourself at home and get to know us, and we treat you like family. We're located right across the street from Walmart on Highway 31 right here in Spring Hill. Let us know that you heard about us on this ad, and we'll give you 10% off your next oil change. So stop on in and see us in downtown Spring Hill. Do we even have a downtown in Spring Hill?
So there's a shift that happens, I think, in our psyche and our DNA that makes us understanding the need and understanding of a higher power, a deeper understanding, not just a surface level awareness. It goes way deeper, and it can, for me, it just compelled me to look deeper. Yeah. I think it'll happen to you. Mm-hmm. When those things happen, I don't want to say God forbid, because it's going to happen. Yeah. There's no getting out alive. Eventually you have to reckon with that day. Yes. But when those things happen, it makes you realize there will be a day where there's going to be no more tears. Mm-hmm. Okay. And no more pain.
And no more fears.
Right. And that's, death is a tool. Mm-hmm. A reminder of that. Yes. It serves a purpose.
Yeah. And I hope what it does for us is it reminds us to be better. And it reminds us to actually seek out a higher power.
That, and actually one of the most profound lines, I'm a huge Marvel fan.
Same. Right?
In Doctor Strange, there's a line, death is what gives life meaning. It is, oh my gosh, comic book movie. Yeah. With such a profoundly true and deep line that just, what a zinger. What a zinger. Oh my gosh, so much truth there. Very powerful.
Some of those movies, they hit hard.
They do. So a lot of what you do, again, we kind of meander, we come back to the main timeline. You help talk about some of the services you do, and especially for those of you listening, or if you know somebody going through a situation like this, especially if they're a non-believer, they might be contending with consequences like parents being upset, a boyfriend breaking up, all the different things. But to a believer, to a Christian, oh my goodness, it compounds, because you're not supposed to be doing that in the first place. Yes. And then it's like, I've been in that position. I was 16, my first time, being really transparent here. My first time was at 16, 15. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and being a dude, all right, I'm done with you. Pregnancy scare, but her friends manufactured it, and it got back to me, and I was like, holy crap, dude, really? The first time? Yeah. I strapped myself. What the crap? Okay. How did this happen? Well, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. Whatever. But, at 15, dude, I remember specifically going, how the hell am I going to tell my parents this? Yeah. I mean, it was terrifying. Yeah. I could personally attest to that. That was utterly terrifying. Yeah. Until I got that phone call from her. She's like, dude, it's not true. They just wanted to scare you. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God. How are you? How have you been? And what are you doing?
I do care about you.
For now.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow night, say around 5:30 to 5:35? Yeah, I was awful.
Don't need that much time. Sorry.
Yeah, I went there. So what, in those situations, the empathy is big. Yes. Has to be big. Yeah. How do you go about it?
Yeah, so we provide a lot of things. Just to answer that first question, you start with the basics: pregnancy tests, ultrasound scans. If you check out our website, you'll just see all of the things. I can't even list them all off. Yeah. Two of the big ones that we do that I think set us apart is prenatal care. Mm-hmm. So we will all of our services, first of all, are free, completely for free. And so when you come to our clinic, we're not asking you for insurance. We're not asking you for, hey, can you afford this? It's all free. Yeah. And so prenatal care, I was just saying, is a big one for us, because that allows a mother to come back regularly to get the care and the support that she needs. And then a big one as well that we do is the abortion pill reversal. A lot of people don't know about it, but the abortion pill is easily accessible in all states, all 50 states, and it takes about 5 minutes. I've done it myself. I've tried to. You just Google it. It takes about 5 minutes to order abortion pills. I didn't actually have them ordered.
Yeah.
You just had to say on there that you're pregnant. I lied about it. I'm not actually. I can never get pregnant. That again, things that'll get me in trouble. I'm a man. I can never get pregnant.
Right.
And
you ever think that? I mean, I never thought we'd be having these conversations.
Yeah.
20 years ago, really?
You never thought you'd have to have them, and then people are like, "What are you talking about?"
You got to use the pronouns. No, I don't. I'm not playing that game.
No, thank you.
No, I'm sorry.
You can do whatever you want, but don't make me do it. But yeah, so the abortion pill reversal. If you take the abortion pill, the first one, and it's a 2-pill process. The first one cuts off progesterone. The second one starts contractions.
Mm-hmm.
Again, sorry. This is heavy stuff we're talking about. But if you catch it within the first 24 to 72 hours, you can actually reverse that. It's a 67% success rate.
Mm-hmm.
You can reverse the abortion pill. And we, between all of our clinics, we have 8 clinics up and running right now. We've got 2 clinics that we're setting up. And in those clinics, last year we had 31 abortion pill reversals.
Oh, wow.
Which is just amazing.
What's women that seek you out, does that come up when they're talking about the controversy of the nature of abortion and why are you as a man telling me this stuff? Does that ever come up?
Yeah, so I don't deal as much with the mothers.
Okay, so you're just there. You're biz dev essentially. You're just getting the word out, making sure people are aware.
A little bit. I also talk with the fathers.
Okay,
and so that's one of my favorite parts about the job is when a father comes in, I get to ask him. I say, how is your mental health?
Yeah.
How is your physical health? How is your financial health? And how is your spiritual health? Mm. So I get to ask all those questions, get to figure out if there are things that this family needs. We want to empower women to choose life. We want to empower families to choose life. And we want them to have confidence when they're doing that.
Right.
And so we want to provide so many services that wrap around this family that they can say, hey, I actually think we can do this.
Yeah.
We can actually do this because we have the support that we need to do this. And we'll help if people feel like, hey, I can get through this process, but I don't think I can raise a child. We'll help set them up with adoption agencies. And so we want to give every opportunity to a mother to choose life. And part of that is speaking with those fathers as well. It's crazy, again, because culture keeps saying, if you have no womb, you have no opinion.
Right.
My body, my choice. A lot of these men have just felt they can't have an opinion on it. And what a lot of times these mothers need is a man that says, I will support you through this.
Right.
I will be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you pregnant. We're going to do this together.
Yeah, I'm going to man up.
Yeah, I'm going to man up and we're going to, I don't like saying deal with the problem because I don't think a baby is a problem. But in someone's mind, if you view this as a problem, I'm going to man up and I'm going to help you through this.
Well, I mean, it's we don't see it that way, but it's one of the people that are going through it. It's a life-changing event, profound.
Yes.
And it's funny, as you were saying that, I wasn't ignoring you. I had an idea because you were calling it clinics.
Yes.
Like, is there a better word for clinic? You know
Give
what I mean?
it to me. Yeah.
And I asked ChatGPT, workshop, seminar, session. So I'm not sure if there's a better word for clinic,
So
combine.
The reason why we call them a clinic is because we have the medical side.
Yeah.
So we are providing medical services
Right.
to these women. So it's a clinic on that side. We have a physician's assistant that works at our clinic here in Franklin. Our other clinics, when you have prenatal care, you have to have
Haven.
a haven.
A haven.
That's good.
I think
like that.
honestly, that's a better word. This kind of popped into my head. Alliance Family Haven.
So we want to
our havens.
Our main goal is to see women that are planning to have an abortion.
Yeah.
And help them through the process of saying, you can actually do this. You can have this baby.
Right.
Again, have this baby with confidence. And so we don't want to sound too Christian.
Right.
Or too, hey, this is different than what I know.
You're doing true church, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what witnessing
yes
looks like.
And I think something that people always try to throw at us or kind of accuse us of is, hey, you just want to get people in a bait and switch, and you don't actually care about these women.
Right.
You don't care about these families. You don't care about these kids, which is just a complete and total lie. We care very much. That's why we provide free services to women. And I think it's also important to say we provide post-abortive care as well.
Right.
And so if there is a woman that comes in and we're trying to get them to a place where they can say, yeah, I can do this. I can choose life. If they choose to have an abortion, we will still have them come back. We will take them through a lot of women, when they have an abortion, there is trauma that they face. There's loss that they face. Similar like when you have a miscarriage, there's trauma and there's a loss there. Yeah. With abortion, it can be compounded because you're making that choice yourself.
I've known, again, in that time of life, teenage years, I've known a lot of girls, women that have had abortions.
Yeah.
And you could see an effect. It's like a smudging of the soul that happens. And I remember noticing it back then, not knowing what it was or how to define it, but I remember there was something different because what did I just do?
Yes.
It's, they talk about the mark of a murder.
Yeah.
It does something to the soul.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there are people who there are people who we've been murdering each other since the dawn of man.
Yep.
In one form or another. In a defensive manner, does it still apply? I mean, I guess you still have to reconcile with, I just took someone's life.
Yes.
Some people it's too easy.
Yeah.
And it gets just, people who join military and stuff like that become snipers. You see the story about Chris Kyle. I mean,
yeah,
it's what kind of a situation you're in, but there's a profound effect and Josh even talked about a searing of the soul.
Yes.
That can happen.
And that is something that we also want to help with. We don't want to say, okay, you made a decision different than what we suggested. You're gone. You're out of here. Right. We don't care about you. We say, no.
We still want the rose.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that story?
Yes. Oh. Yes. It's what a heartbreaking story.
But so it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's so good. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way that guy delivers it.
Yeah.
You pass for those of you, the layman, and correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but from how I recollect it, in a sermon, this pastor handed out a rose and he says, I'm going to hand it out and I want you to pass it around. And by the time it made it through the entire congregation back to the pastor, it was very tattered and beat up and everything. He's like, this is what happens when a woman is promiscuous and, gives her body to so many different things. Nobody wants this. He throws it down. And the guy who tells the story, he's like, no, like just passionately, fervently. He's like, no, Jesus wants the rose.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, he still wants it.
Yeah.
He still wants it. It doesn't matter.
And that is the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Right.
And so when someone makes that choice, and we know that there's trauma connected to it, we know that it's tough, it's hard. Yeah. We have women working at our clinic that have had abortions. A lot of our staff have had abortions, and they know the actual effects that it's had on them. And so we want to say, no, we want to help you through this trauma. We want to help you find the love and the forgiveness and the hope of Jesus Christ. And so we'll take them through a book. We'll take them through that process of healing. And it's tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
But we don't say you made the wrong choice, get lost. We say, no, we still love and care for you. And to me, it's a success story. We've had several women that have come in, gone through all of our services. They still choose an abortion. And then they come back when they're pregnant again and choose life. And that is a success story to me. When someone chooses abortion and they go, hey, I was cared so well by this clinic that I'm going to go back. They didn't give me all the guilt and the shame and all those things that I was told they would give me. I'm going to come back and I'm choosing life. I'm going to have this baby. That's a success story.
It's beautiful, man. So if you're interested in helping out, this has compelled you, somebody that is in a situation like this, you want to bring it up, we'll, of course, as always, put all the information in the description. AllianceWomensClinic.org.
Yep.
Is for you locally.
Yep.
That's the best way to get a hold of all the things.
Yeah, if you want to use our services as a clinic.
Right.
You can find us. You could call us. We'll have a number on there. You can call our clinic.
We'll make sure to put all that information in the description as always. Of course, if this helped you in any way, if you know somebody that it could help and you want to share it with them, share the episode, you could certainly go to mmtbp.com. That is our website. Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast.com is also available. It's a longer type, but I've truncated it down to mmtbp.com for a reason. Go there, share all the things. John, this has been wonderful.
Thank you. I'd love to get back on here and get some time.
Loved having you on, buddy. Go check him out. Thanks for being on, Bill.
Thank you so much for having me.